G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel bonsaiworx. Today I've got just wanted to go through and show you some of my colouring in autumn colours on my maples. This year's been a terrible year in terms of the weather. It's been very inconsistent, and I found that we've had a very early autumn. Some trees that are fully exposed to the sun, like this little trident maple on the rock, have coloured up early, very early. Some of them actually already lost their leaves because of the wind and so on. So even this guy, usually this guy colours up really well, but it's actually lost a lot of its leaves already, unfortunately, so I won't get much colour this year on that one. But at least this one's a real ripper, little beauty. But these are all open to the elements. There's another one there. These are all open to the elements, so they tend to colour quicker, obviously, than the ones that are shaded. And I'll show you the shaded ones, and I'll do a hopefully I'll do a time lapse, not a time lapse, but a slightly, progression on how they change colour. But yeah, I'll show you the other ones that are a bit more protected. Alright, so some of these maples, this is another trident. See, it's a bit protected with the fence, so it's not colouring up as fast. And so is this trident, not colouring, it's starting to colour a little bit. This Japanese maple's colouring a little bit. But this guy, even though the back's towards me, you can see it's slowly colouring, but it's mainly green. That's the back of the tree. I just wanted to get a bit more exposure on that side. And this guy, yeah, see, it hasn't coloured up, hasn't lost its leaves, because they've got a bit more protection with there's a big tree here and a fence line. So that's interesting. So I'll just do another video. I'll keep tracking this one, and I'll show you over the coming weeks and months how this is going. So this is like about 3 weeks later since the previous video, and you can see my Japanese maples slowly colouring up, but I've lost all my leaves on these tridents, and this trident's lost pretty much all its leaves. This one's just hung on to its colour. It's got a bit of colour out of it, not too bad at all. So that's pretty good. But yeah, that's a japonica it's lost, and the other trident it's lost as well. That hasn't coloured up much. But so this Japanese maple also is just holding on to its leaves, and he's starting to colour up a little. So that's not doing too bad. Hasn't lost all its leaves, so that's good. This trident's doing well. It's a nice base. Let's see how it gets more sun on this side than this side. So that side gets a bit more colour. It's looking good. This trident's doing well nicely, but not ready for the show, unfortunately. It still needs a bit of work developing the branches, but really nice colour starting to happen. Different shades of it. That side gets more sun, so see what happens. Now this Japanese maple is doing quite well, but unfortunately it's lost a lot of its leaves. That's the problem, I think, because of the pretty crappy summer we had. Pretty mild, and we got really cold weather, and then they all thought it was winter's coming early. They decided to lose their leaves before it was time. But this is just beautiful colour. This is just done wonderful. It is actually quite beautiful. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to hold all these leaves till the show, which is a few weeks away now. So unfortunately, but at least you get a good look at how beautiful these leaves are. Unfortunately, my big trident has half lost its leaves already, half kept its leaves. Looks like a bit of a mess. The top got some beautiful colour, but unfortunately all this has just gone. So I won't be I don't think I'll be putting that in the show, unfortunately, unless I'll put it in as without any leaves at all, because that looks really silly. But that didn't colour up, and this trident is slowly getting there. It might make it, but I think the leaves are really starting to dry up before they colour up. So we're just going to I'm going to try and give this a bit of protection out of the wind and rain, but again, I don't think it's going to hold on to them for another 3 weeks. So a bit unfortunate, but it looks like the Japanese maples held on to a bit longer, and that trident hasn't really done much either. But these are kind of slightly shaded, so maybe they've held on a bit longer to their leaves, but didn't colour up as well. But yeah, look at the glow of this red. I mean, it really stands out. So probably that's the best I'm going to get from autumn colour, but let me just finally promote my upcoming exhibition for my club. So if you're in Melbourne, or even in Victoria, make sure you don't miss this exhibition. It's going to feature some of the best trees in Melbourne going around, and it's not going to be, you're going to love it. It's going to be pretty awesome. It's a Footscray. It's only about 5-10 minutes from the CBD by car. Lost to see. Probably one of the biggest features is the sales area. It's all member trees, so you're going to get a great deal on buying some trees, pots. We've got handmade potters coming along. So we've got everything you think of, we've got pretty much. So don't miss it, and hope to see you guys there. But in the meantime, that's probably my favourite coloured tree, and that finishes off our autumn look. And I'll hopefully see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.